In The Flash, an evil Barry Allen goes back in time so many times that the multiverse begins to break apart. Inside the Speed Force, we get a glimpse into these other universes featuring Adam West's Batman, Christopher Reeve's Superman, George Reeves' Superman, and weirdly the cancelled Nick Cage Superman. A lot of Supermans for some reason. And while everyone in the cinema was hooting and hollering because, they recognized something, the worlds began to implode in on each other and were destroyed. Really? Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness reunites us with, albeit a multiversal variant, of Patrick Stewart's Professor X, as well as Black Bolt, Captain Carter, Captain Marvel, and in line with Nick Cage's Superman, we are introduced to the popular fan cast version of Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski, who in the next 5 to 10 minutes will all be brutally murdered right in front of us. That can't be right. Crisis on Infinite Earths Parts 1 to 3 feature a multiversal threat destroying universe after universe. We get glimpses of the Teen Titans universe, Super Friends, and Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman, fittingly with Mark Hamill. Eventually.
I must say, Bessie, I'm flattered.
In the Batman the Animated Series universe. And we watch as each universe is wiped from existence. What? Deadpool and Wolverine features a plot about how they need to save the Fox universe from being completely deleted from the multiverse. What is happening? There's a strange trend now in films that center around the multiverse where worlds and characters of beloved, and sometimes not so beloved, but I watched them when I was 8, so it's automatically good, universes are brought back just to be killed or destroyed. And I'm a little confused as to why. Comic book films seem to have a habit of bringing back the past.
Flame on! Sorry, what now?
Only to destroy it.
I don't...
And it begs the question, have we reached the cameo's final form? In the past, cameos were primarily used for one of two things. The first being the joke.
You're confused.
No,
it's perfectly simple.
A cute nod to a celebrity appearing where they shouldn't. It's funny that Huey Lewis plays a music teacher, referencing his work as a musician. Tom Cruise playing an in-universe film version of Austin Powers because it's weird to see global action star Tom Cruise as a joke parody spy.
Yeah, baby.
At least it was back then.
This is one doctor who does make house calls.
Oh no, this aged really bad. He's the real Dr. Evil. Dan Aykroyd appears as a ghostbuster in Casper because haha, he busts in ghosts or something. I don't know, I didn't see the film. Then they kind of shifted into a second form of cameo, which is becoming a lot more prevalent these days. The nostalgia pop. And to be fair, it's everywhere. Bringing back old things to make an audience hoot and holler has been a thing in basically every form of media imaginable.
Hello, Peter.
Even some sports and fake sports do it. It can be really special to see something we once loved as kids come back in some epic moment, especially if you can bring some of the more dated aspects up to scratch with the modern interpretation. Yuck face, though. But in the past few years, a new kind of cameo has appeared in film and TV, if you can call it a cameo. Bringing back the original thing to interact with the new.
Can I be of any help?
And I don't mean like legacy sequels having old characters return to pass the torch to the new, or previous actors returning to a new iteration in a different role. The latter is a common trope that has been around forever. Christopher Reeve has a small role in Smallville. Lou Ferrigno popped up in Hulk. Even John Wesley Shipp, former Barry Allen actor from the 90s show, playing the new 2014 Flash's father. The good Flash, not the other Flash. Don't worry about it. When done right, this can act as a nice acknowledgement to the character or show's past, as well as a symbolic passing of the torch moment. But what I'm talking about is when the actual character returns to interact with the new. Enter the multiverse. Suddenly, we weren't just seeing past actors in a new role as a fun wink and nod, but playing the same role they were known for, either as a multiversal variant or returning as their original version.
Who the fuck is this?
Smallville's Tom Welling did not appear in a new role like Reeve did in his series. He played an older Smallville Clark Kent. Brandon Routh played a Kingdom Come version of Superman that I'm not 100% certain if we're meant to take this as the original Superman Returns Superman becoming the Kingdom Come Superman, because it was heavily implied that Brandon Routh's Superman was also Christopher Reeve's Superman, but, like modernized a little bit. So does that mean Christopher Reeve's Superman is Brandon Routh's Superman, is the Kingdom Come Brandon Routh's Superman? It doesn't matter. He's Superman again. Michael Keaton returns as Tim Burton's 1989 Batman, but kind of not. Unclear. Once again, very unclear. And John Wesley Shipp somehow manages to do all three all in the same show. New role, multiversal role, classic role. Powerful stuff. I hate it a lot. Oh wow, look, they killed him too. That's crazy. The biggest example in recent memory is, of course, the Spider-Man in Spider-Man No Way Home. A truly terrible film that might signal the death of cinema. These were explicitly the same characters that we followed, coming back to meet the current iteration of the character to not only get closure for their own film, but help the current version of the character fix their problem. And then we started to get weird with it. The multiverse opening up had a weird effect on the modern cinematic universe. While I'm not certain, I feel like the idea is, it's an alternate universe, we can do whatever we want, it doesn't matter. Because these films occurred in universes that are not our main DCAU or film version of the 616, animated DCAU, CW-verse, anything. It doesn't matter. We can do what we want. Done wrong, however, and you may risk ruining my childhood. An odd sentiment that was usually reserved for older generations remembering Jimmy Savile, or Gen Z and millennials googling their favorite childhood YouTuber with the word allegations next to it. It was expanded to any time something we liked as kids was brought back different. Doesn't matter if it was good different or bad different, just different. Your favorite kids TV show got a live action adaptation? Ruined childhood right there. Bad casting for a well-known character? That's a childhood ruin. God forbid a reboot of a classic film that stars a girl. I must have just come out fully fucking formed because I had no childhood. But the thing is, no one's childhood was ruined. This new version didn't invalidate the old one. The reboot is its own separate thing. The original version still exists, this is just a new interpretation that maybe you don't like, and that's okay. So then that begs the question, what if it kind of does erase it? Well, maybe not erase it, it's not like the old movie or show ceases to exist, but it does provide a kind of ending to that. And sometimes that ending isn't great. It's more akin to the Legacy sequel. But instead of taking these characters and making them go on one last, probably terrible adventure.
For you see, you are a werecar.
A werecar?
It's somehow worse. Often they just get to stand around on screen for a bit while them and their entire universe is completely obliterated. Like, Multiverse of Madness had some weird choices with its cameos, but I will say they at least served a purpose in the story. Somewhat. But what is the point in showing us Christopher Reeve's Superman for us to look at for 6 odd seconds, then show that everything in that universe we loved is destroyed? Look, it's Batman the Animated Series, remember that? Take one last look because it's destroyed and we killed everyone in it. I can only assume their point is they're trying to raise the stakes, but it's so cheap, it's lazy, it's... I hate that I'm saying this. It's disrespectful. George Reeves' Superman is briefly seen as one of these universes collapses inside of the Flash. Strangely in black and white, meaning that we have to assume that the universe has a weird, fucked up light spectrum. And this man died. The leading assumption being that he couldn't escape the grip that Superman had on him and his career. So now we get to see him again. Not to do anything, but just to stand around and die once more, this time as Superman. I just think it's gross, and honestly, I'll say it, I think this is worse than Suicide Squad Meet the Justice League. Kill the Justice League. I think it is more disrespectful that Kevin Conroy's final performance as Batman has him choosing to punch Joker as the world ends around him. That just doesn't feel like Batman in the slightest. A gross mischaracterization. What is the point in showing us that the OG Teen Titans have been killed? We know they were killed, it happened in 2006, and we're all kind of cut about it. And whether these universes end up being restored or not, I don't really care. It's a lazy way of adding stakes when they can't make us care about what's actually happening in the movie. Actually, no, sorry, I lied. I do care if they're restored, because then double what's the point? Nostalgia is a crutch for modern entertainment, and I am sick of it. Hey, so this Flash we're trying to get you to like? You know, despite Ezra Miller's best efforts.
Abby?
Did you know that he's the reason Christopher Reeve's Superman is dead? Damn, what a likable guy. I can't wait to buy more tickets to his future films. God, I hate The Flash. These films are no longer banking on the internal stakes of the film itself, or the characters involved. I mean, look, it's obvious our characters, our heroes, wouldn't just want every universe being meaninglessly destroyed. What I'm saying is there's nothing personal about these stakes, no connecting emotion other than the hero thinks it's bad when people die. Instead, they're relying on the emotions of those who are watching the movies and their memories attached to movies and TV shows that they watched years ago. You don't need to learn to care about this Charles Xavier, you remember him from the old. You don't need to build up a story with a new Peter Parker when you can just snatch the one from when you were young. Who needs an interesting what if Thomas Wayne survived new take on Batman when instead you could just grab an old man from a film released 30 odd years ago, a movie released well before most of your target demo was even born. They're holding our nostalgia at gunpoint and threatening to pull the trigger. They're killing your childhood instead of taking the time to build its own characters and stakes. Movies are threatening you through the fourth wall instead of existing inside it, and not in an actually interesting or creative way. Some of my favorite games and movies find interesting ways to peek through that fourth wall, but this is just exploitative. Now we just bring out something you recognize and threaten its existence as though we're meant to care. We exist in some strange middle ground where media seems to want to move on without letting go of the past. No Way Home, Deadpool and Wolverine, Doomsday looks like it's gonna be a cameo clusterfuck. Hell, even the new Superman score, which I think is great, still retained the original John Williams hook and general feel for the title card. I don't know where we go from here. Is it really just enough to show us something we recognize? Is that enough of a pull now? Fuck, maybe it is. I'm excited for Doomsday to be all about how the multiverse is imploding now too. Hell, maybe it'll lead into a reboot, because nothing is more popular with fans than actively destroying everything they've grown to love and saying, hey, this new thing is not only replacing what you liked, but everything you loved about the old thing, it's dead. Cool move. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked, please like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe. You can find me at aforgottendonut pretty much everywhere. I livestream on Twitch a fair bit, come and join me there. The links and everything will be in the description, you know how it goes. Otherwise, can't wait to see you in the next video. And I'll see you in the donut hole. Once again, I filmed this before I've gotten any recommendations on new endings, so please give me a better one. Okay, thanks, bye, love you.